This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV. Yes, I am.
One step more. One step more. One step more. Until you reach your goals. One step more. Save them soul. One step more. One step more. How good it is to reach the
Live for Love TV. This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV.
Welcome to Live for Love TV. It's the 20th day of the 5th month of the 21st year of the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Today we're going to go over a little subject here, a little subject matter that I think is very important because it seems to come up constantly recently. Everywhere I go, I seem to see this subject matter come up. And I'm going to start it off by talking about the prodigal son. In the Bible, the story of the prodigal son. A very distinguished man, very rich man, has two children, two sons. Excuse me. He has two sons, and both, I think the elder son, obviously an older son and a younger son. Now, let me try to remember this exactly right. The younger son wants his inheritance now. He doesn't want to wait for his father to die. So he asks his father for his inheritance. So his father gives him his inheritance, and he goes out into the world and he starts to live a very lavish life. He starts to paint the town red, as they say. He's doing everything that people do, living uptown, doing all the things, playing with a whole heap of females, just enjoying life, drinking, becoming a drunk, everything. Eventually, he loses all his money and comes basically down to his knees, to the point where he even ends up in a pig swall, where the pig sty where the pigs are slopping out and they're almost eating the same food that the pigs had to eat. Eventually, he swallows his pride and he goes home, back to his father. When he gets back to his father sees him coming. As they see him coming, his father puts on a massive banquet for him, gets all the food, kills the fatted calf. That's the story of that. And then basically looks after him beautifully. The elder son sees this and he's unhappy about it. He can't believe this. He's looking at his father and saying, but I've been here with you all the time, working on the fields, I haven't done anything that you didn't want me to do, basically. And you've never treated me like that. You've never looked after me like that. But obviously the father is so happy to see his son alive. That's what a father is. No matter what happens with your son, you're always happy to see that your son comes home and that he's alive. Now, the reason I brought up that story is because inheritance seems to be a massive problem in all communities, in our community, in every community, but in our community in particular, the community that I come from, was born into, inheritance is a massive issue. It's constantly happening on a weekly, if not daily basis, where somebody passes away who actually owns something of value, some property, land, whatever. And the remaining people who are there left to inherit actually become angry with one another, stop talking to one another. It's got so bad in some places in the world where people even put contracts out on their own family members because they don't believe they have the right to inherit what they think they should inherit. This inheritance thing has become very, very dangerous, very serious. It's amazing. Even family members who you think are really close and tight, as soon as the matriarch, could we say, who owned the property has passed away, or whatever the value of the stuff is, the valuable stuff is, the problems start and they go on. And sometimes they go on from generation to generation after that. The children start to pick up the argument of their own parents. It just keeps going on and on and on. And I find it amazing. It tells you a lot about what the state of human beings are. Do we really have the right to inherit from our parents? It's lovely when somebody gives you something. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody likes, a giver. Everybody likes when somebody likes to receive. But do you have the right to inherit? Billie Holiday sang a song, old jazz blues singers, many, many years ago. Mama have, Papa have, God bless a child that has his own. That tells you that a child who has his own is blessed. Now, if your parents have brought you up to the age where you can become a young man or a young woman, and they're giving you the love that you need, and you go forward and do what you do in life, why would you be looking at anything that they have? Because there comes a point that once you start to value something somebody else has, and I don't care who it is in your family, you're going to be thinking, oh, how comes they're taking so long to pass away? You're not going to say that to anybody, and you're never going to admit it to anybody. But when you see the clamor for the valuables of your family, the family members, there's no way you can tell me those people are not happy to see their parent disappear or their family member disappear. If that wasn't the case, they wouldn't have the clamor of to inherit somebody else's things. The things that you have, that you've attained in your life and that you've worked hard for, those are the things you should really be caring about. These are the things that really matter. These are things that you know you've made, you've done throughout your life. It doesn't matter what it is. People can value whatever they want. They can value their life experiences. You can value the fact that you've seen, many, Niagara Falls, Victoria Falls. That could be a value. You can value anything you want, but to value something that somebody else has worked hard for and attained, and even find yourself in arguments, disagreements, and wars with people who are so-called family members also, is very disheartening when you see it. And when the children see it, they grow up to believe that, oh, my mother was wronged, or my daddy was wronged by his brother, or by his cousin, or by whoever else is in the argument. It's a terrible state when we bring our children up like this, and when our children see us behaving like this. We need to teach our children that once we give them the basics of life that they need, and we love them as they should be loved, they need to go out and do their own thing. Now, you have people saying that, oh, well, the parents should give exactly the same to every child. What right does anybody have to make that statement? If a parent has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 children, they can give to who they want out of those 9 children. And if they don't give to any, or if they don't give to certain of those 9 children, that's their stuff. For any child to say, well, mum gave or dad gave to the other 6 brothers and I got nothing, and to be angry with it, tells you the context of the character of that human being. They believe that what is somebody else's truly belongs to them. And this inheritance argument, and you see it in the Bible, and you see it other places, it's been played out in a way of controlling people. Parents themselves can actually control their children by telling them what they're going to give them when they finally pass away. And that can literally control a child if the child wants to be controlled. Can literally have them under their wing waiting. Oh, I can't, I have to be good to mommy. I have to be good to daddy. I can't say anything I shouldn't say because they won't give me X, Y, or Z. This again is a very negative way to look at life. It's a deep subject. It's a subject that I find emotional about simply because I've seen it so often. I've known people not to speak to their cousins and brothers because of inheritance for 30 years, 25 years. And there's no other reason for them not to speak to that person. But they believe that person did nothing for mum, and yet they got something out of the inheritance, or the other way around, and it's hurtful when you watch and you listen to people, because what you're looking at is people who are not happy with self, people who have not even understood how to love themselves, let alone love anybody else. And it's always when it's something of value. Remember, the thing that the person is giving you is that thing of value. It's not a sentimental thing. It's not like they've given you something that has very little value, but you're remembering them sentimentally that, oh, this person gave me this and I know how much they thought about this. It's really that the thing has got a value. And this is what people are fighting about. It's a very sad situation. It's something that people should talk about before somebody passes away, and get to know your brothers and sisters, your cousins, your uncles, get to know everyone in your family. And look at their content, their characters, and you'll see long before anything happens to anyone who's going to behave how. Sometimes people will say, well, you don't know, maybe the person won't behave like this, or maybe they seem all right now and they won't be all right then. As far as I'm concerned, nobody is owed anything by anybody else once they've given you the basics to get on in life. Parents do not owe their children anything. They give what they want and when they want, and that's it. Simple. Same goes for I'd say that for myself and for any other child or any young person. This is where you must think of life. If someone gives you something, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. You are the substance of your life. not the thing or the material thing that you've got later on in life. You are the substance. Respect your own substance before you start getting into arguments about the actual materialistic things that somebody else owned or worked hard for. So I hope we've whet your appetite with this subject. I'm going to come back again. I always say that, and I will come back again at this one. I'm going to actually do an interview on this one with somebody. I'm not going to mention the person's name in case it doesn't come through, but I'm going to do an interview with somebody on this one who's very into this and who's actually experienced this through their own family and the breakdown of their family. So that's Live for Love TV. See you back as soon as possible.
People, one step more, one step more, one step more, one step more until you reach your goals. One step more.
This is Live for Love TV.